Well, hello. Let's get some music playing. Let's start it over. Alright, so it's been a while, that's for sure. I'm going to play some more classical chess, and no matter how long it's been, I'm gonna keep it pushing. Hopefully, this video turns out alright. Hopefully, I can find a game in a somewhat reasonable amount of time. Life's been interesting. There's been some crazy developments. Alright, so we have an e4. I'm gonna go ahead and play e5. I don't know if I've had a game as black on my YouTube channel yet. Turn down the music a little bit. Let me turn this up. Sorry, I'm still kind of figuring out the right mixes of things. Alright, so what we typically do here is play this game. However, I'm not sure I want to go into prolonged Stafford Gambits. And then I decided quickly that I do want to do that for content. If I lose, but Stafford is very interesting because at my level, you do go down if your opponent has some knowledge. However, it's a very sharp game if you play well as black at my level, typically. So he accepts the gambit and pushes. Now this is the move here because this move, the natural next move that follows, is not good. Looks like he knows that, and he plays his queen out. So we're gonna have a bit of a fight here. First spot to think of the game. The moves that come to mind are this. Protecting the knight. If this follows, though, it could be somewhat interesting. I really would rather not play this because after this I'm forced to queen trade. Here I'm just down. Like, I'm just losing. There's no compensation in that line. However, with a move like this, there's a chance to get some sort of compensation taking back this pawn. What we'll likely see instead, though, is maybe something like this. He's just trying to prepare castling as fast as he can. But I have some time there to consider additional attacking options. Yeah, so this isn't the dream line of the Stafford, that's for sure. But it is by no means unplayable for black. If I had to guess, it's somewhere around negative 1.5. Really should have prepared myself a coffee. I'm actually quite tired. But I shouldn't be tired, I should be calculating. So like I said, it's probably in his best interest to play something like this, but he could also play this and just try to trade pieces. Yeah, he doubles his pawns, but maybe not, because he has to deal with the fact that I have this. Yeah, so there's really only one move here. I didn't consider this, but I think it's okay. There's no problems there. It's the good thing about this move as well, because you do open up this. If you do open up this and you want to develop the bishop, you still have to first deal with the queen, eyeing the weak b2 square. More likely to see something like this, but then this, of course, so maybe even this. I'm not sure. Okay, so he does give back the pawn. I think I will take. I don't see why not. Of course, I have to be mindful of this, and I have to be mindful of potentially the rook getting here and pinning stuff, but I think a good way to deal with all that is to get castled as fast as possible. The question is where, because in the Stafford it's not so simple. Thinking about a few things here. Ideally, I want to be able to castle as soon as possible. However, if my bishop comes here and I castle short, that would be a quick way to castle. But then I castle into his attack. However, that does leave me the option eventually of playing this move. So we have to consider that. I can see him after I play this move, I can see him playing here. Which doesn't force a queen trade, but it does end this immediately, this prospect of getting this going. And of course, if I do play this to try to eventually play this and this, I would be able to castle over here. But this is kind of slow development. You want to play bishops out in one move if you can. Which kind of makes me think this might be the best move. And not trying to get castled immediately. Again, if I play this though, he just sidesteps. And yeah, I don't really accomplish much. After that, I do still have this if I want it. I can castle in and start putting pressure on this pawn. Because any way it goes, it's gonna be under pressure. This pawn will be here. Sorry, this pawn will. If it moves up, I take. And I don't know. A lot to think about here. I'm definitely still losing though, so it's not like I'm gonna find anything that's winning, per se. I think this might give me the best chances. Maybe not though, because this does force a queen trade. And being behind development, though, that might not be so bad. Where else could he go with his queen, though? He might... I don't know. There's really nowhere else. Yeah, I've sold myself on this move. Yeah, so I think he might castle here and ignore that. I'm not really sure that works. If he does castle, I think it's maybe losing already. Interesting. Oh, the first move that comes to mind is to retreat. If I do retreat, he'll probably play this. He's getting a lot of momentum. But again, this I could still play this. Because the queen has to move somewhere. And there's not a lot of squares it can go. It can go here, but after it takes, yeah, it doesn't seem so good. So I do think this is maybe the best option here. Keep the pressure on this, incentivize something like this. And there's really nowhere else. Well, that's not true. I could consider this as well. Here he just plays here. And I don't like that very much, so yeah, this has to be the best. This gives the queen more flexibility. Might come here. I don't think that'll stop this. I need to get the queen out of the square as fast as possible. I have a huge lag in development, which is typical for some Stafford quickly consolidating lines like this. We go all the way back to the beginning. I played the Stafford. This was a risky way to play the Stafford. The more solid way is to play this move. Probably better for a 30-minute game. I was fishing for this, which I just had in a game. I think my last game I played. It was a very easy win. Okay, so it looks like he does want a queen trade. Not sure I want to give it to him like that. I think I'll play this move. If he takes and I take, I could also consider this, which stops the prospect of the queen trade. Develops. Pressures this knight and subsequently this pawn. Or doesn't pressure the pawn, but keeps it still, at least for a move. Actually, I might like this more. I might want to keep pushing this pawn as an attacking piece. Yeah, let's go for that. So yeah, I've used 10 minutes, about a minute per move. It's what makes classical fun. You can really think out your moves. I think he'll castle though. I feel like in some lines I was, for some reason, calculating this. I don't know why, but what he's gotten himself into is a very even position now. Only difference is this, and these are flipped. I have to be considering... Yeah, I could castle. I don't really see why castling would not be the best move here. I could actually make it a very similar position, but I don't think that's the time for that yet. What I am scared of is this. Because if this bishop is able to get here, I might be in some trouble. I think the best way to stop that, though, is castling, because, yeah, castling is the best. I'm about to get... Even if this does happen, what is he attacking over here? He's attacking my attack, technically. Which is not really what you want to do. Maybe this is actually better. Does two things at once. Opens this up. Attacks the king side. Maybe forces my knight back. With the knight back... I'm not sure what my play is there. After this. Probably this. That hangs this, so maybe not. Maybe this. I don't know. We'll see if that even happens. That's a pretty weird move to do. Especially because I don't have to move my knight here. I can also move it here. Well, actually, I wouldn't do that. If he lets me, I might consider taking this next move. Okay, he doesn't let me. Hmm. Yeah, I figured my knight would be moving this move. It's the easiest piece to pressure. Maybe here. I really only have a few options here. I can take, which is the sharp way to play. He can take, I can take. If he... This might actually be the best move. So let's calculate every line. So there's takes here. If he takes a knight, then I'm happy to take the bishop. He has to take, yeah, that's actually really good if he takes like this. If I take and he takes here, so if I take here and he plays here, then I just play back. I attack this pawn again. If he pushes, I have, yeah, I just take back. He would probably have to play this. But that gives me some time to play this and start attacking his position. So I think that's off the table as something that's hurtful to me. If he takes the queen, I take back the queen. If he takes back there, again, I'm good to play here. And it's a very similar position. So I'll go for this. And he's going for this line. I guess I didn't consider him taking here, but I'm not sure how good that is, but I don't have a choice now. I mean, yeah, this will be an isolated pawn, but I'll have ways to crack at his position with this pawn push. Honestly, a position like this is not the end of the world for the Stafford. Okay, looks like he doesn't want to trade. Well, I don't think he has a choice. If I take here, he takes this, but then I'm able to play this move, which is very interesting. Actually, no, I would play this move. That takes a lot of initiative. Is there any better options? I don't think so, because I don't want him having the bishop pair long term in this game. Wow. Okay, so he keeps the bishop pair, but he hangs this pawn. He hangs this pawn because he wants this pawn. But the thing is, if I take here and he defends a rook and I play back, he doesn't have time to... Yeah, he doesn't have time to really even the game, so... That might have been a mistake for him there. Does he not care about this rook? Oh yeah, he doesn't. Okay, that was a mistake. But we'll see how bad it is. Go ahead and use this opportunity to have both pawns defended for a move while he most likely checks me here. This is a drawn game. I mean, I don't see how there's an advantage here. play here. I am going to offer a draw. He's probably going to decline and play out this boring endgame, and someone will probably win. Why draw? He decides to be snarky. Say, why snarky? That was a good response. He better win now. Say hi to YouTube. Say hi to my 3 viewers. Now I feel kind of bad. Maybe he was really just asking. I definitely put some added pressure on him there. Yeah, I mean, it is a hard position to find a move. I think his best idea is to just do what he can down over here. I mean, my bishop is toast. It's useless. There's also this idea here, which can be very strong, but it's not strong enough to really create an advantage, because after this move, I don't know, you just kind of have to give up because this is coming. So it's a hard position to find a way to gain momentum. You could even consider maybe this too. This forces, instead of this pawn to move, forces this pawn to move, which is not ideal. Okay. B3. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I have to play this. I really don't want this pressure stopping my rook from doing anything all game. I want my rook to be able to move around. Interesting. So yeah, this move comes to mind initially. I do wonder where it's going, but if it goes here, it might be the best idea. I'm gonna want to do this actually. Really only one decision here. The only other thing to consider is this, but why? Now there's this move. Yeah, no, I think I lost. No, because here... Okay, I got bailed out by luck here that I have this. I didn't even initially consider this move, but... I think I need to sit up in my chair and take this seriously. Yeah, I think this move is best. Now I'm cutting off more squares from the rook. It's gonna have a harder time. So freeing up my bishop a bit. I think my best idea is this. My rook isn't really doing anything right now. If I can get it here... Of course there's this problem, but... I don't know. There's also this idea, which actually seems pretty good. So it's getting to the point where I think it's back even, maybe, because he just doesn't have a lot of helpful pawn breaks. Maybe this? Maybe? Oh, interesting. So he goes for that pawn break, but I think I just come here. And then this move. Rid of this too, but it's not fast enough. so he's definitely seeing that right now. I still think maybe for him taking here is okay. Because of course I have to take back, there's no option. Consolidating his advantage over on this side. But then he does have a question to ask about what he's doing about this. Honestly, to me, it seems as simple as playing this. Then where does he go from there? Where do I go from there? I might go here. But you never really want to trade off. When you have doubled pawns like that, you have to really be careful about that. There's also, so yeah, so takes here. If I play here, takes. Here takes, then it really is a draw. Maybe. Because then this pawn is still sort of hard to defend. But so is this. So yeah, it does seem drawn. I'm not sure, though. I just saw something. Look at this wacky move. No, it doesn't work yet, but it might work in the future. So to recalculate, what was I gonna do here? Oh yeah, this. I don't think he has a lot of choice but to take. I actually think taking this pawn is better in that situation. Because this pawn will be easier to capture in the future. Okay, so he plays that, but that gives me this. Yeah. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so he had that planned out. I don't think it's the end of the world. I definitely don't want to get out into a check. I just think that's a waste of time. But, I mean, maybe not. Yeah, actually, I think it's better. Now he has to move the bishop, and I have this pawn. Unless he finds some way to do something with it. I still think it might be drawn. Maybe not, actually. I don't see his logic with this line though. I think every other line he had either no winning chance or a drawing chance. Especially getting rid of rooks. And especially because my bishop controls this break, which in pretty much every line would allow. Okay, I think I can just take here. That's really odd that he would go there. There's really no question about what I want to do here. Okay. Maintain some protection on the pawn too. Hmm. The logic on where to move the queen is, or king is rough. This gives me less options in the future, but protects his pawn forever. I think that might be better. This gives me more options in the future to help a push. But unless I go here, well, that is exactly what I would be planning to do. It'll just be an awkward transition down the board with this rook. Especially if this gets thrown in there. I think this is better. I don't think I need the king with these pawns. I think I have enough pieces. And this bishop now will never be able to go to either of these squares, which really sucks for it. Yeah, this was pretty good for black, I think. Just have to convert. I don't think this was a good idea, but I don't think he had a lot of good moves to choose from, so it's fine. Okay. Yeah, it's a good move. I think pushing this pawn now is probably my best idea. See him actually trying this. If he does play here, I might consider this. With a check. Then I come here. If he keeps doing it, then I finally get to here, and then what? So yeah, let's play this. That is weird. So now I can just push this. Keep going. Jump music a little bit here. Alright, so the bishop comes back. It's made a detour into a better position, but my pawns have moved quite a ways down the board now. For this move. Ooh, interesting. There's two schools of thought. En passant. But I don't think that's very good. Because this pawn is currently doing a wonderful job keeping the king out of the game. And then my other school of thought is, of course, playing something like this. Which is actually very hard to stop, because then my pawn comes here next move. No matter what, really. There is this to consider. After this check here. That loses a piece. And here I'm opening up my rook now. Thing is, I don't know how stoppable this is already. I don't even know if this is needed. So if I do play this, does he have a way of maybe playing this and stopping it? Yeah, maybe so. I think immediately just playing this is best. We'll say this is not a typical Stafford game. Semi-normal endgame. Usually they're a little bit less same piece-ish. So I think his idea now is to get something going here. But how quick can he do it? Because I'm playing this. And then if he does play here, right here. Plus here, he can't even get this in. Yeah, so that's his next best move, next best option. I can pretty much stop all that though by just playing this. And then what for him? Yeah. I think it's over. I think his best move might be to come back. Resign. Good game. 45 move. Slow win in the end game. Let's take a look at the analysis. Still my friend here. So when I offered the draw, I was actually a little bit better. But it was probably drawn. And I did slowly build an advantage in the end game. So yeah, this was inaccurate. And I have to give it to him because this rook move was a good find. Even though, like, he calculated past the fact that this existed and he saw this pin. But like I said in this situation, I think his best move was to take for sure. His best move was the line I said. It was about equal to what he did, so I don't know. I was going to play this. I didn't see this pin so much, but I just saw this as very much winning. And yeah, I would have probably just taken here and drawn the game. So yeah, this was the draw I saw. He ended up going into a sharper line, trying to hold on to an advantage. I might have gamed him a little bit with the "you're probably winning" line. Can't be too sure. Wow, looks like I missed a win here. Yeah, I missed the ability to trap his bishop in. That stinks. But I got the win anyway. So let's look at the very beginning of the game. So the Stafford is... This is not the best way to attack against the Stafford. Because not of the move I played, but this move is actually decently solid way of defending. You just have a lot of control over the center in this line, and of course this comes, and if he does take, no one ever takes that, but I've had this game plenty of times where you end up with structure like this and you defend. Not sure I would defend much there though. Probably take here most of the time. Now I'm just learning about other lines, but yeah, so what ended up happening is this. Oh wow, I missed a pretty good move here. Why is this so good? Wow. Good to know, actually. Use that in my Stafford arsenal now. I feel like I've made this mistake of missing this move before. But you always need to be looking for when you have triple coverage on the pinning square, as I like to call it. These C3, C6 squares. There's also a line in, I think, the Ponziani where it's similar but for white. So I missed that. So yeah, like I said, the Stafford just has a lot of crazy lines. And really, you can remember a pretty solid defense if you study one line, but if you haven't studied, you're gonna fall into some traps. I just need to be more cautious of finding them all. Yeah, it looks like this game I was really the only one that ever had, or that had most of the winning chances, so I'm glad I was able to get the win. Yeah, this is what it looked like in the end. I slowly kind of took over the game after the opening. Just probably knowing the positions a little bit better. Can I scroll? Oh gosh. Yeah, so there was a huge mistake here. Yeah, that was this. Yeah. So yeah, good game. Good game to Squatish. Sorry I said, why snarky? And then beat you really bad. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good night.